Words can be magical. Word magic is possibly one of the oldest forms of magic. Certainly one of the oldest recorded forms of magic. But where does word magic come from? And how do you do your own magic using words? Hi, I'm Neil Trigger, and in today's video I'm going to tell you how you can change your own words, the words that you use, and the way that you're using these words so that you can have great impact and even get a kind of magical power over other people. Now, whether you call this stuff magic is up to you, but becoming more persuasive and gaining more power is a pretty magical thing to do in my opinion. So let's start exploring that. Okay, so you want to become more magical and start using magical words and phrases to build your own magical power. That's cool, and we can do that. Words and magic are an ancient partnership that dates back millennia. Written words, and particularly knowledge, is credited to the ancient Egyptian god Thoth, who reportedly taught the human race how to write as a way of recording in a magical way, the knowledge of the ages. Fast forward to today, and we all take for granted the fact that words are a useful way of recording stuff. Even I'm reading a script right now off an auto cue, a script that I wrote with my magical knowledge. Yeah! Okay, now let's start with the most famous magical word, magical spell, and it's not just some party magician phrase. It starts with abracadabra. Of course, that sounds a bit cliche. This word was actually written down thousands of years ago as an ancient magical spell. Nowadays, of course, people say it to take the mickey out of magicians and magic. But abracadabra and word magic in general goes back in time much, much further than that. The word abracadabra is actually from the Aramaic phrase Abracadabra, and it means I will create as I speak, and it shows the magic of words. In modern times, psychological illusionist Luc Jamay, a famous magician in this area of mental magic, said something similar. He says that definition equals creation, or if you define something using your words, then the mind of the audience must create it in order to understand what you're saying. So to them, in a way, it's already been created. So definition equals creation, and this stuff leaves traces that can then be used for a magical routine. This area of illusion comes about as close as it gets to real magic in my opinion. Of course, abracadabra sounds a lot like Avada Kedavra to me, and to be honest, that's the killing curse in Harry Potter, and I'll come on to that in just a second, because it's not just a coincidence. Potter's author J.K. Rowling did a lot of research. She really knew her stuff before she did any writing and put her pen down on the first page of the book to write it. Of course, different people have said that there are different origins for the word abracadabra, and there are some very convincing origin stories. For example, some people say that the source is three Hebrew words, Ab, which means father, Ben, which means son, and Ruach HaKadosh, which means Holy Spirit. So, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Doesn't sound a huge amount like abracadabra. Sounds a bit Judeo-Christian for me too. Other people have said it's from the Chaldean. I don't know whether that's how other people pronounce it. That's how I pronounce it. Abada Ki Dabra, which definitely sounds more like the Harry Potter killing curse of Avada Kedavra, and it means perish like the word. So I guess that makes sense. Well done, JK. She definitely did her homework, right? Well, she was a teacher, so I guess that's a thing. I'm impressed, but can perish like the word really be the beginning of the phrase abracadabra? After all, it now means I create as I speak and perish like the word. These two meanings are very duplicitous, opposite. Can words really be that magical? So magical, in fact, that one word's origin can be the opposite of the current meaning, perish and create. Well, words can certainly change meanings, as can the tone of voice. You've probably heard that words only account for about 7% of meaning, with body language and tone of voice accounting for the rest. This comes from a much discredited academic study, but it's still trotted out in every communication skills seminar or workshop I've ever been to. And I know this because I studied for a PhD in communication psychology back in 2008. Since then I've done management courses, public speaking courses, influence courses, communication courses. Every single one of them uses that study, even though it's not actually true. Regardless of the specific numbers associated with these words themselves though, tone of voice can certainly have an effect, and even change the meaning entirely. Listen to the different ways that you can say yes. 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 You can say it quite flat, as if you mean yes. Yes. You can say it sarcastically. Yes. This way, the words really do mean nothing, and it's all the tone. That changes yes to mean no. We can be hesitant too. Hey, did you like your meal? Yes. And that pause suggests there's something else that suggests no. The unspecific vocalization of and the tone of yes tells us there's something our speaker wants to say, but doesn't want to cause offence or isn't sure quite how to say it. Clearly the 7% rule doesn't actually apply here. It seems a bit of an arbitrary number to me. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. So what about words themselves? Well, you're here to find out what magic words to say and how to get power, right? Well, let's do that next. First, let's give you a word. Now, this magic word, like much magic, may seem very easy and not magical at all. And that's fine. It's all about how you use it. And the word is people. Yes, it's an ordinary word, but it is magical if you use it right, and so, here's how. The word people normally refers to a group or selection of people. You'd say something like, some people went to the beach. Now that's not very magical, and so I'll show you how to use the word people magically. Let's say you want to have someone believe you should get a job. You might say, people think that I'm very good at whatever. In the mind of the person hearing it, the unspecific word people gets changed. The listener hears the word people, but because they don't know who these people are, who that refers to, they have to appropriate it to themselves. Therefore, using the word people in an unspecific context like this leads people to believe the speaker must be talking about them. The best part is that all of this is done unconsciously. In other words, the listener doesn't even realise that they are making the change to the meaning of the word. They're doing it automatically on behalf of the speaker and doing the speaker a big favour in return. Of course, it's not just the word people, it's anything unspecific. We call these generalised unspecific clauses. Let me give you a slightly cheeky example. I should probably point out that people find great benefit in this channel, and they often subscribe to get more awesome content like this. When they do, clicking the bell notification to be informed of future updates generally helps them out a lot. Did you notice that I didn't make that final connection? I didn't say, you could be that person, or perhaps you will find this of benefit too. The reason I don't do that is that it becomes my idea, and I don't want that. I want it to be your idea. You're not going to argue with yourself. I say in this video up here that Rapport is a powerful magical tool, and it's mainly for that reason. Rapport is a way of getting into a kind of state with someone else, where you're on the same wavelength. It allows easy communication and actually helps you to influence others. The way it works is by similarities in body language, posture, tone of voice, movement, breathing, blinking rates, etc., all of that sort of stuff, that the other person picks up on to allow you to become like them, or vice versa, in their own mind. We all like people who are like ourselves. We all like ourselves to some greater or lesser extent, unless we have a mental health issue, but I'm not going to go into depth with that in this video. Assuming your audience is a healthy, well-adjusted person, they'll like themselves and be impressed with people who are like them too. Now, if you get that person using generalised unspecifics to think you're talking about them, they will hear thoughts generated by you as if they were generated in their own mind. If the audience makes the final step, it doesn't matter that it was you that generated the idea. Nobody wants to argue with their own idea. If they think it was their idea, even that final step was their idea, they'll be all over it. They will defend it, they will protect it, and so your job is to hint at it in such a skillful way that they never suspect that it was your idea or that it was you that implanted the thought in the first place. Okay, so generalised unspecifics aside, what else can we do to gain magical power using words? I mentioned rapport before. Rapport is the blurring of boundaries to allow good communication and strong relationships. Aristotle, the father of modern psychology, suggested that to gain good persuasive skills one needs 3 things. He termed them ethos, pathos and logos. Ethos is the character of the persuader. Can you trust them? If I rocked up to this video wearing a dress or sucking on a pacifier, or the lighting was weird, or any manner of other things, you might think, I don't trust this source of information. Hopefully by now you do trust that I know what I'm talking about, and so the character has been built, and that's why I mentioned my PhD research at the beginning of this video. It's also why at conferences, guest lecturers, speeches, and even videos like this one, the guest speaker is usually introduced by someone with authority. They've already got that authority. The speaker borrows the persuasive power or the character from the main persuader. The main person introduces the next person and imbues them with the character of someone who's already persuasive. Of course it needs to be congruent. If you have an eminent scientist introducing a total moron who doesn't know that light cannot exist inside the body, where have we heard that before? Anyway, so ethos is the character. The ultimate stealing of a person's character, of course, is when you steal it from the person who's being influenced. And let's face it, unless you have mental health issues or you're some kind of psychopath, which is probably a form of mental illness anyway, to be fair, you're not going to dislike yourself. If you do, please seek help immediately. I know this video has only just scratched the surface of magical words, and I'm planning more videos like this one, so if you do like this video, please click the like button, please do subscribe, and click that bell button to be notified of future uploads as well. Remember to enter my 3,000 subscriber giveaway. I provided a link to it up here. Share this video with your friends too so that they can add more magic to their life. Also, I'm nearly ready to start editing the magic wand battle video. It would be great if more people took part in that, since it really is very, very easy to do. I'm putting out a call to all of my viewers to invite everyone, yes everyone, including you, to take part. If you'd like to find out more about that, for a full list of instructions, check out the video that I've put a link to right up here. It's very short and it's very easy to do. So that's it for this video. Thank you ever so much for watching. I will be back next time with some more magical awesomeness. But until next time, as always,
Play Magickal.
Well, you're some kind of sociopath, so no, I can't say it.
Please subscribe to Real World Magic. While you're there, click the bell button to be notified of future uploads, and have a look at all of my social stuff. Remember to donate on Patreon if you really, really liked it, and I'll see you again next week.